Welcome to Friday Fuel. What's going on, guys? What's going on, everybody?
I love it.
It doesn't get old.
It doesn't.
Never does, dude. I love it.
I always practice a couple times before we come on, like throughout the intro.
Gotta get that. Welcome to Friday Fuel.
Welcome to Friday Fuel.
Well, how's it going, guys? We're excited for one more episode 41.
41, man. We're coming up on the year mark quick, man. Jeez.
Yeah, 10 weeks away from doing it for a full year. Pretty crazy.
Dude, we were talking. It's more like I feel like I actually enjoy doing this. Like I'm grateful the opportunity, us getting to brand ourselves. You know what I mean? Like we're sitting here, like just Joe and Tony gave us the opportunity just to build our own brand. Literally,
Absolutely.
we got people. There's almost 8,000 people on this Facebook group. I'm not sure how many people are actually watching them. Yeah, there's a good amount, but we still get to build our own brand up, and it's just great.
It's cool to go to an event and have someone come up to you, be like, "Oh, I watch Friday Fuel," or "I see you, on the Facebook page. I just wanted to say hello," and I'm like, "Oh, hello," like it's nice to meet you. I love doing it, like, and it just feels so rewarding, and like you feel like a little celebrity. So I love it.
Yeah,
and it's just our little show, like.
Yeah, and also like I was talking to Adam because I'm at SWAT right now too, so I'm pretty fired up about that. I'm getting to be here, learned a lot, which I'll share with you guys today too. But like, I mean, there's times where it feels like not that I don't want to do it, but it's like, dude, this is a grind.
Mm-hmm.
Like I may be busy, tied up, and I'm like, shit, I got to do Friday Fuel, and it's just like, it's a more grinded out process. But also, we all need to look at it like this is us building our own brand, and we have to continue to keep investing in our own brand, and this is how we do it right here, right?
Absolutely.
Always don't look at stuff as always a problem, because there's never always a problem. There's always going to be an opportunity when there is a problem. So when something bad happens, just look at it as a prime opportunity to go ahead and push forward, But that's something that's definitely that I've learned in the midst of us doing this podcast together, right? And also what I love about it too, we said it millions of times, it keeps us connected.
Absolutely.
Like it's such a great mechanism for us to build our own brands, but stay good friends throughout the whole process, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Look at this guy, mechanism, throwing out some big old words.
I know that man. You can tell that man been around some big people. He got the vocabulary today, dog.
Alex is bringing the heat, dude.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to branch out a little bit.
You're trying to up level.
Yeah. Well, sweet. Well, we are going to keep today short and sweet, but to the point, and get you guys off and rocking and rolling on your Friday morning. Alex has got SWAT. I've got an appointment. I know Donnie's got some stuff going on, but we want to get you guys all of the fire to fuel your Friday.
Make it the best Friday yet.
We're gonna go into how to control basically your mindset from what Alex has learned from SWAT, and just start us off, Alex, with a quick takeaway.
So it's been really cool. I definitely have learned a lot. And also I want all of us to give our little two cents on like a couple of things that you guys feel like the most important thing is to become successful in the industry. Because yes, we've talked about it before, but I don't think we've nailed it on the head. Like what's the one or two top things that you guys actually feel like you need to do this, right? Because all of us are successful in our own ways, but we need to give everybody else what is like the number one or two most important things so they can run with each of ours number ones and twos so they can put it into one and then go out and go kill it, right?
Sure.
But definitely I would say when it comes to controlling your mind, we always tend to put like not bad things intentionally, but we all have our own thoughts, our own subconscious thoughts. Like we don't know what to do in a situation. Something bad happened. Now we just want to ponder over like what had happened, and we just let it sit in our mind, right? And the more we continue to let that sit in our head and just marinate, the only it gets worse. It continues to keep getting worse, right? So what we have to do is we have to, first off, when you see something like that happen, first off, you have to notice it. It comes with noticing, because most of the time when something else is taking control of your brain, you're not noticing what's going on. You're just kind of living in that depressed state or sad state. You don't know what's really going on, right?
Yep.
What I've learned is that first, obviously having a good circle of people, right? because obviously they'll be able to tell if something's off with you. You know, that's going to be one of the most important things is making sure that they notice that so they can help you as well. So then you can notice it, right? And notice it, then that's where you have to take control of your own mind and brain, right? Because if you don't have control over that, you're probably not going to have control over anything, right? So having control over that, and then once you do take control of your own brain, you're going to be unstoppable. Honestly, I could say one of the most important things when it comes to being successful in the industry, from what I put in the description, is honestly, when you do take control of your own mind, like that's one of my most important key points, because when you have control over that, you can have control over everything because you're already controlling your own mind. I forgot, I saw a percentage of it. Majority of Americans, something about controlling your own mind. They all live in a state of depression or have crazy amount.
Oh, well, we lost him, so I think that's a good spot for us to kind of pick up on that. And I think the saying that Alex was using is, I don't think it's necessarily a percentage, but it's most men live in a quiet state of despair. And what that goes along to and what that's speaking to is, like a lot of not just men, I know it's men in there, but it's also women deal with the same thing where there's so much expectation and there's so much nuance to not showing your emotions and keeping things in and just keep on trucking that you never get the chance to unload and better yourself because you're always dealing with things that are in the back of your mind that you haven't dealt with. You're just pushing off to the side, and there's some things that have to be addressed, whether it's just as something as little as a thought. It has to be addressed, and you have to think through it and say, why am I feeling this way? What are some ways that I can not feel this way? Or what are some of the things that I can do to counteract this feeling and have gratitude? And the way that I watched a Facebook reel on this a couple days ago. It's called scaffolding. And it's a technique by Jordan Peterson where it's too many people set too high of goals and they never achieve them, and they never get that satisfaction of completing something. There's a lot to incrementally increasing every single day. Because if you just get 1% better per day, that's still 1% better than you were the day before. And within a week, you're 7% better than you were a week ago. And in a month, you're an average of 30% better than you were a month ago. And then so on and so forth. And that stuff compounds, man. That stuff adds up. And too many people want to improve by 100% and they fall short and all that. They might have gotten even to being 83% better, but that missing 17% is what puts them back into that quiet state of despair and right back to ground zero, because they're not grateful for the 83% that they improve themselves, because again, they're looking too high. Like if you're in a spot where you just aren't achieving your goals, set little goals. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with achieving things. Like you're achieving stuff, like be proud of that and be happy with that. And now that Alex is back, I'll let him kind of go ahead and take over for a quick second and get what he needs to out.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My laptop died. And
it's all good.
I left my charger in the car. Am I getting feedback? Is there feedback on my end when you guys talk?
You're good, brother. Okay, sound good.
No.
Yeah, but my point that I was trying to make on that is obviously kind of like what I was wrapping up on the point is, and Donnie, you hit the nail on the head when I was listening to you talk, is just when you have control over your own mind, you'll have control over majority of everything. Because, and also if you can't control this, you have control over it. You won't have control over anything. I mean, it's such a crucial thing, man. And honestly, I control my mind majority of the time, but I have my own little problems that I have sometimes.
Everybody.
And absolutely. It eats at me. And I've talked to Collin before. I've talked to you guys. I mean, I've talked to everybody, like with situations that I may have been going on, and how sometimes it eats at me so much that I don't even want to work.
Yep.
Like, how is that even possible? How am I going to let myself have a stupid situation let me affect myself to the point where I don't even want to work? Right? My situation's way far not as worse as the guy next door. Like, people, like, did you wake up and your family was completely healthy today? Like your own close family, like First Connect family, or is everybody healthy and wake up good? Are they good?
Well, did you wake up today in the first place? Like, be grateful for waking up every morning. Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah. And I mean, I really had to just kind of kick back and stuff that overthinking. And one thing I've learned as well is overthinking will kill your peace. So if you continue to just sit there and overthink about the business, overthink about a situation that's going wrong, it's going to kill your peace. I mean, all you're going to do is you're going to go throughout the whole day thinking about that one thing, and then you didn't even get to enjoy the day because you were thinking about that one thing the whole day, right? Come straight into belief in God, right? Because if you don't have that, then you don't have anything. The only reason why I'm at today is because of God, and that's night and day, dude. Like that's 100%.
Amen.
And I have to continue to remind myself when bad things come up that I have God right there directing me through this whole process, and I have to trust in Him. And because if I'm fearful or I'm anxious about something, I'm not following in His footsteps, because He always says, leave everything on me. I'll take care of everything. You just have to trust in me, right? Yep. And I'll tell you, every single one of you guys, continue to remind yourself that God will take care of you if you are very, very faithful, which everybody should be.
Absolutely.
And everything else will line out. You just have to trust Him and let go of all those overthinking thoughts that you will have, because you're just going to kill your life, and you're going to continue to just keep overthinking. You just have to trust in God and everything that He gives and everything that He offers, right?
Amen.
But yeah, that's.
No, I love that, man. And to kind of go off of that, so when you said like 2 things that you would tell an agent that would be a key to success, I'll make it 2 A's, like, so it's attitude and activity.
Okay.
You can control those 2 things, like what you guys have been talking about of controlling your mind. It's really controlling your attitude. And yesterday, I was at a convention. We did a booth for some things to try to drum up some more business around here, get in front of some people for Medicare. And one of the guys that presented, he's written like 15 books and basically talks on attitude. Okay. And there was a picture that he had taken of a paper that was in a University of Illinois hospital. And it was for all the workers, and it said, attention. I should have I tried taking a picture of it, but he switched slides right before I got a picture of it. But basically it was saying, this is a place where your attitude really matters. If you can't come into work right now, do something to switch your attitude immediately, because your attitude matters and how you are approaching patients and their families and all of that. And like, that like really hit me, that it was just like and the last thing it said is how you show up matters.
Yep.
And I was just like, holy crap, like how I enter a room matters, how I like who I am on the phone, all of that like really matters. And 90% of us or more don't control like our state of being, and don't think of how we're presenting ourselves when we enter a room or when we're on the phone, because it just becomes so like normal monotonous to us.
Yeah.
If we are on the phone, like just making 500 dials or whatever it is, to be showing like, yeah, like I'm my best self right now. Like I'm high energy, all of that. So that's attitude. And then activity. But another word that I use for activity is just standards. Ed Milet says this. He says, people don't rise to the level of their goals. They fall to the level of their standards.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, I could have a goal to write 1 million in AP, but that's just a goal. And it's kind of going off what Donnie said, like you need to have a standard. And my standard is 2 a day. And that might be low for some people. That might be high for some people.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, I won't go home without selling 2 a day. That's just my standard, because I know at 2 a day that's going to be, 10 a week, and that's 500 apps a year. So it's like, if I can do that, I can make really good money. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, that's 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. I don't need to sell 1 million policies. And there are days where I do sell 8, 9 policies in a day, but my standard is I won't go home without my 2. So, and that's kept me in business.
I love that, dude. I think that's such a key component, Collin, because think about it. When you're talking about attitude, You said like controlling your own attitude. What is controlling your own attitude really like? It all stems from one thing that we've kind of been talking about. It stems from controlling your own mind, right? Because if you're going to live in a negative state of mind, your attitude's going to be terrible. But if you continue to live in an optimistic, positive, grateful mindset in everything that's going on in your life, your attitude's going to be amazing, right?
Yeah.
So everything that we're talking about here today, when it comes to becoming successful, is controlling your own mind. That's my number one key component when it comes to becoming successful. Control your own mind. That's it. Number two is going to be probably one of the more important things as well is being determined. I think that's if you don't have any determination, competitive, like if you're not competitive or not determined, it's going to be pretty tough for you to be good at this business because like we've said before, you have to have a big enough why, and no matter what happens, whatever pops up, you're going to continue to show up to work and be the best version of yourself, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
And competitive determination both go hand in hand. And if you control your own mind and you're determined, I mean, it's going to be really hard for somebody to stop you, right? Because determination means even if I'm doing so good and then I have a terrible month, most of the time people will have a terrible next month because they're just thinking about, damn, I suck now. I can't do this business. I'm not that good. But determined people are like, well, shit, that happened to me. Well, now I know for sure next month is going to be even a better month, way better month. I'm going to go back to the numbers that I was at before. I'm going to be getting as many referrals as I was before,
Yeah.
So there's something that I saw real quick, and then Donnie, maybe you can wrap us up.
Yep, exactly.
It's called the Rule of Two. This guy was talking about it in like a diet and exercise type way. But he said, if you have a bad day, just make sure that it's not 2 days in a row. So in the way that he was talking about it is like, yeah, maybe you didn't like follow your diet for one meal, or you ate bad on one meal. Don't make it 2 meals in a row. You didn't get your steps in for one day. Don't make it 2 days in a row. So like if you're having bad things happen, or just you didn't hit your goal one day, or 1 hour, or whatever it is, however you track it, just don't make it 2 in a row. And he just called it the Rule of Two. Just don't let it happen twice. And I really liked that because I beat myself up a lot as far as like, well, crap, I didn't hit my goal today, or I didn't hit my goal this week, or whatever it is. And like you were saying, Alex, I kind of let that, bleed into my next week or my next month or whatever. But that little don't let it happen twice, the Rule of Two, helped me out with that. So
I love that, and I appreciate the opportunity to kind of wrap up here because I think my idea really does fit in well here at the end. And my kind of idea was drilled into me by an elementary school like substitute teacher. She was a retired psychology professor at our local like community college, and was just working odds and ends throughout my entire elementary school career. And what she would always say, she was a very stern lady. She would always say, "Understand universal truths." And what I mean by that is there's things in life, just like scientifically, matter cannot be created nor destroyed. That's a universal truth on Earth, on Mars, halfway across the universe. That's a universal truth. Gravity, that's a universal truth. That's true here on Earth, on Mars, halfway across the universe. But not just physical truths. There are also mental and spiritual universal truths. Being a good person matters in your religion, in your relationships with other people, in your hobbies, the things that you set your mind to, in your dreams. Don't you think that should probably matter in your business too? Being active and intentional matters in your religion, matters in your relationship with other people, matters in your hobbies and your dreams. Don't you think that should also matter in your business? There's so many things that people don't attribute to their business and their work life that they attribute to everything else in their in their life that is going good. If you don't know what you don't know. So what you can do is you can make inferences and educated guesses based on universal truths that you can have experiences in other aspects of your life. There's going to be moments in business where you don't know what to do because you've never been in that situation. But what you can do is pull from an experience maybe at church, or an experience with, a high school friend or an experience at a team or a club you're a part of, and you can implement that into your business, and you get at least pretty dang close, and we're on the right track. And there's so many people that think you have to reinvent yourself or you have to act a certain way in business that you don't act in the rest of your life. And it's some character you put on and some persona that you put on, and just being a good person and implementing the things that you already know and stop looking for answers that are right there in front of you will help you tremendously. Because again, you don't know what you don't know, but you can make educated guesses and you get pretty dang close.
I love that.
Yeah.
Talk about like the best thing of the whole podcast right there. Donnie, dude, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
That was key nugget. If you guys,
Like
please
said,
go watch that.
And that was something that was imprinted on me in elementary school by a substitute teacher. Like I might have saw her 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah.
But every time I saw her, she said, understand universal truths, or she would go on a tangent and cut class for 5 minutes and speak about a universal truth. And she said, you can implement this in school. You can implement this in your relationships. You can implement this in your career. So understanding that and understanding universal truths is very, very huge.
Love
Activity, what Collin said, what Alex said, all of those are true, and all of those are true in every single aspect of their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate that, Donnie. We have a hard stop here at 9:20. We're 2 minutes over. I appreciate that, guys. Please go look back. We have a guest next week as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Didn't mean to cut it short. We both have obligations to be somewhere. So I appreciate you guys. We will see you guys next Friday on Friday Fuel. Donnie, Collin, I appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next Friday.
We'll see you. Have a good one.